Beneath the opulent halls of Vatican City lies a world shrouded in darkness and secrecy. For centuries, whispers have persisted about what truly hides under the seat of the Roman Catholic Church. Secret chambers, forbidden texts, ancient relics, and something far more chilling. A place some call the Lucifer Room. It's a name that sparks immediate fear and fascination. Why would the Vatican, the epicenter of Christianity, allow such a place to exist? Is it just a misunderstood label? Or is it the key to unlocking a deeper truth hidden from the public for centuries? The Vatican is not just a small country with massive influence. It is a fortified fortress, both above and below ground. Underneath the marble floors and gilded chapels lies a labyrinthine network of catacombs, storage vaults, and subterranean archives. Some areas date back nearly 2,000 years, predating even the modern church itself. Bones of martyrs are interred in shadowy alcoves. Early Christian graffiti still marks the walls of tombs. But not all of it is ancient. Some areas are highly protected, guarded, and sealed from the eyes of both the public and the clergy themselves. This underground expanse isn't merely for preservation. Many believe it serves a much more selective purpose: to protect, or perhaps to conceal, knowledge that would append the official church narrative. In 1612, Pope Paul V established what became known as the Vatican Secret Archives. While they're now called the Vatican Apostolic Archives, that name change did little to erase centuries of speculation. What texts are kept in vaults so secure that even researchers are allowed access to only a fraction of them? The church claims it's simply historical preservation. But others suggest these hidden tomes include alternate gospels, records of heretical trials, correspondence with non-human intelligences, and even prophetic documents that warn of humanity's eventual downfall. The word secret wasn't always sinister. In Latin, secretum simply meant private, But the secrecy surrounding these archives has only intensified their mythical status. Theories range from the church suppressing the truth about Jesus' real bloodline, to covering up contact with extraterrestrial life, to even safeguarding ancient Atlantean technology capable of reshaping civilization as we know it. That last theory may sound absurd until you consider the next piece of the puzzle, the so-called Lucifer Room. To understand the Lucifer Room, you have to shift your gaze from the underworld of the Vatican to the mountaintops of Arizona. Yes, Arizona. That's where the Vatican has quietly maintained a deep interest in astronomy for decades. At the Mount Graham International Observatory, an instrument was installed called the Lucifer, a powerful infrared camera attached to a telescope that helps scientists observe distant galaxies. The name was later adjusted for PR reasons, but the original acronym stood for Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared, utility with the camera an integral field unit for extragalactic research. On the surface, it's science, but it's not that simple. Why would the Vatican, which once condemned Galileo for his observations, now invest heavily in space research? Why give the most controversial name possible to a key piece of that research? Critics argue that this isn't just a matter of unfortunate branding. They believe this astronomical outpost is part of a much larger mission, to monitor the skies for something more than just stars. Some say the Vatican is watching for signs of a returning presence, something foretold in ancient prophecy. Others claim they are tracking cosmic portals, alignments, or celestial events tied to the rise of the Antichrist. That's where the legend of the Lucifer Room intensifies. While the name is often associated with the telescope, some researchers claim there's also an actual chamber beneath the Vatican tied to this agenda. This so-called Lucifer Room is described as a vault of forbidden knowledge, a repository of apocryphal texts and symbols that contradict the public face of Catholic doctrine. It is whispered to contain manuscripts so volatile they've even never seen the light of day, books that speak of entities who offered humanity knowledge only to be cast down and labeled as evil. Some believe this room doesn't just contain written records, but artifacts, items of dark power, recovered from archaeological digs and kept from public knowledge. Objects said to vibrate with a strange frequency, tablets engraved in unknown languages, even petrified remnants of non-human skulls, all kept deep beneath Vatican soil, guarded by those who swore oaths not to protect the church, but to protect the silence. But why use the name Lucifer at all? The name means light bringer in Latin. Before it was demonized, it referred to the morning star, Venus, a bearer of knowledge. Could the Vaticanist use of the term be a veiled reference to the forbidden light of enlightenment, the kind of truth humanity was never meant to access? Some say this represents the Church's quiet admission that their greatest fear is not darkness, but unfiltered illumination. Within prophecy circles, some believe the Lucifer Room is connected to end-times theology. They claim the Vatican is not only aware of an impending cosmic event, but is actively preparing for it. Theories suggest that the Church has knowledge of a celestial body approaching Earth, one that will usher in widespread disruption. Others go further, claiming the Vatican believes a being will return, not Christ, but his inverse, a false Messiah, the Antichrist. Insiders, such as former priests and alleged whistleblowers, have made bold claims. One story from a former Vatican translator alleges he once saw documents referencing an interdimensional intelligence that had communicated with early Christian mystics. Another spoke of vaults beneath St. Peter's Basilica, the house mirrors said to show visions not from our world, but from others. Then there are the exorcists, people like the late Father Malachi Martin, a former Jesuit priest and Vatican insider, who often hinted at a malevolent force within the highest levels of the Church. He never directly named the Lucifer Room, but he spoke of a chamber deep beneath Vatican grounds where rituals had once been performed. According to him, it was sealed off, not to protect it from the world, but to protect the world from it. Some suggest that the Church's interest in aliens is more than just theoretical. In a surprising number of public statements, Vatican astronomers have openly said they believe the discovery of intelligent life would not conflict with Christian belief. But why prepare the public for this now? Is it science catching up with faith, or is it part of a disclosure the Church has known about for centuries? Alternative researchers claim the Vatican holds relics and evidence of ancient contact. They point to strange inscriptions found in sealed tombs, depictions of flying discs in medieval art, accounts from missionaries describing angels descending from the sky with burning wheels. All of it, they argue, connects back to knowledge stored beneath the Vatican and possibly hidden within the Lucifer Room itself. Of course, the Vatican officially denies all of this. They insist their archives are meant for historical research, that their telescope is for astronomical observation, that there is no Lucifer Room, no forbidden vault, no contact with entities from other realms. And maybe they're right. But if they are, why the secrecy? Why the guarded corridors and restricted access? Why the name Lucifer at all? Perhaps the greatest mystery isn't what the Vatican is hiding, but why so many are convinced there's something to hide at all. Is it because we instinctively distrust power cloaked in piety? Or is it because, deep down, we sense that humanity once had access to something profound, something ancient, powerful, and dangerous, and that those in power have done everything to bury it? In the end, the Lucifer Room may be just a name, a misunderstood label tied to a telescope and twisted into legend. Or it may be something else entirely. A doorway not to hell, but to the truth. If the truth is indeed buried beneath the Vatican, then the final question becomes, how deep are you willing to dig?